All right, guys, I got a banking story. Happened to me last week. Anybody here live in Costa Rica? Have you been to the bank? Do you get your own stories? I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do. I'll tell you, a lesser man probably would have packed it up and left Costa Rica. Well, not really, but I'm going to tell you that story. And if you're thinking about living in Costa Rica and you want to learn about some of the maybe the minor frustrations and annoyances that you might be going through, you might want to stick around for the story. We'll be talking about it in a minute. Guys, I'm Michael Allen from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Nobody gives you as much information as Travel Costa Rica Now does. They just don't. Other people usually have an agenda for what they're telling you. We've been giving out free information for 15 years. Tons of free info. So please subscribe. It's really helpful. If you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. And if you want to help me buy t-shirts because of this, you can go to travelcostaricanow.com and hit the donate button. I do apologize for this. I don't know where you're at, but man, it's been hot in Fortuna. When it's not raining, it's been hot and humid. I brought a regular shirt. I did. I wasn't trying to wear this one, but it was so wet. I know that's a little TMI. I couldn't. It was all very uncomfortable. So sorry about that. But if you want to donate, maybe I could get another pack of shirts. So I'm doing a podcast now called The Odd Couple Costa Rica every Sunday at 9 o'clock with a friend of mine that also is a YouTuber. His name is Alan for Costa Rica Living. And this last one we did on Sunday was pretty good. We covered cost of living. So if you missed it, you definitely want to see it because it was pretty complete. We covered a lot of bases, a lot of info. It's about an hour long. And if you missed it, I would recommend you watching it, especially if Costa Rica is on your radar or on your map and you want to get a feel of what the cost of living is in Costa Rica. I definitely would check it out. It's going to be worth your 55 minutes or so. Guys, we have another relocation retreat coming up, man. End of October. I would love to see you there. It's my favorite thing to do is to meet you guys. I'm not much different there. I mean, what you see is pretty much what you get, but there's no blowing smoke there. The good, the bad, the ugly of living in Costa Rica. 6 or 7 day event, 7 day event. Tons of info. And it's, just if you know all the Costa Rica info because you've done a lot of homework and research, I'm telling you, it's worth the price of admission is worth it just by the contacts you're going to meet. The people I circle myself with, the friends, the people I send you to, the people that help you bring in your car, that help you get your residency, that help you buy a house, all this stuff, man. You do not want to start your Costa Rica life off with people that don't come recommended or something because, man, it can go south quick and you can lose thousands of dollars, frustration, and you're going to leave Costa Rica, with a bad taste in your mouth. So I would love to see you there, man. All that information is in a link in the description below this video. You got time. Summer's over. Start to plan. Hey, man, maybe Costa Rica's calling your name. Maybe it's not, but at least I think you'll know by the end of it. So anyway, I'd love to see there. So there's a million little frustrations, here. There's, that annoy people. There's minor annoyances. There's bureaucracy. There's gringo pricing, Tico time. And I would put doing stuff at the bank right up there. Now, I didn't go in there. I'm not, this is not a personal account. I don't want to get too deep into what I'm doing because I had to kind of start my business and get a new corporation. And of course, I got to tie banking to that. This is not a personal account. This is a business account. So it's a little bit more complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. Everything is complicated when it comes to banking. So I got my corporation, everything is cool, but I have a travel business. I got to bill people. I got to accept money. I got to pay hotels and stuff. So I have to I have to tie this to a bank. So I would have never been able to do this without my friend Johnny, the medical dental guy. He's a good friend now. So he helped me do this. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would be, I'd still be in a line at the bank somewhere, I think. So getting the bank stuff going, tying it to the business, there was all kinds of issues. It was taking forever. What they said would be done on Tuesday was three week a month ago Tuesdays, So I had to go in there because they hadn't yet tied the account to in my internet. I have a personal account there too. And when you go to the internet, you want to do your banking, you want all your accounts there. The business one wasn't showing up. So I had to go in there. My friend Johnny said, you got to take this, you got to do that, you got to save this. And he sent all the stuff. I was prepared. Now, you guys know my Spanish isn't good. You know it's not that good. And some of the people at the bank speak English, some of them don't, some speak a little. I got a guy that spoke a little, and I can, there's Google Translate. I have my tricks as well, but I was going in there by myself, which I normally don't do, because anytime something's like super legal and detail oriented, I like to have somebody that can, English, Spanish, or take a friend in or whatever. But I didn't this time because I was prepared. I was prepared. So I go in there, I sit down, and I know one of the papers I had to give this guy, I had on my phone, and he goes, send it to me. Send it to me. I said, okay. So I sent it to him. It was a PDF, digital copy of something, important that I guess they needed to have to get this going. And he said, and I sent it to him. He's right in front of me. So he goes, I didn't get it. I go, well, it pretty much shows it sent. He's like, I didn't get it. And I'm like, what? I go, can you do WhatsApp? And I knew they couldn't, because if that's more personal, they can't do it. They have their own email account. But I said, hey man, just for this, how about I just throw it on WhatsApp and throw it to you, and then you can copy it and put it where you need to. No, we can't do that. So I happened to coincidentally, another friend and a friend of the bank's too, I know some pretty, I don't know, let's say people with status here. I've been living here a long time, and I saw them at the bank, waved them over, told her my situation, and she goes, send it to me. Now she's standing, we're all standing here, remember? So I sent it to her, she sends it to him right there. He goes, I didn't get it. And I'm like, well, it sounds like it might be your problem. Sounds like you're Gmail. So she speaks Spanish, so he's telling her, well, where's the real piece of paper? Bring in the real piece of paper. Well, the real piece of paper was in Ciudad Quesada, an hour away. I didn't have it on me. That's why I had a freaking copy that is that was a fine copy, the copy. And I'm like, I have it. It's here. Something's wrong with your email, dude. And she, the friend of the bank and a friend of mine said, well, he's giving you an out. You just got to get the paper, and you got 3 days. And I go, what do you have for 3 days? I've been doing this for like 3 years. So what we ended up doing, now a little hack before I get back into the story, is the thing about when you set up a business, and I'm pretty sure a personal account's easier, but a business account, there's a lot of paperwork that you got to give them. And what their little thing is, so that paperwork is only good for 30 days. And when that paperwork gets to them late, it's usually their fault. So what they do is that's late. It's 2 days late. You got to redo that. Now the paperwork, I'm not saying it's hard to do. A lot of it's on the internet, and you can do it yourself. Some lawyers I know will charge you 40,000 colones, like $80 when it's really only 6 on the internet. But my thing is, a lot of times, I don't know if it's a trick they do or they do it on purpose, but they kind of wait for the 30 days, and they tell you, well, you're late with the paperwork. So that happened to us too. So now, remember, I'm practicing my Pura Vida. Well, I'm not even practicing. I'm pretty good at it now. But I could see how people get frustrated. So he's telling her, hey, tell him to get the paper copy. And I'm like, no, this is not my problem. You obviously have a Gmail problem. Now, he's saying bring in the paper. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going, well, why don't you try somebody else in the bank, their account, and there you can give it to him. So the guy next to him, That's what we ended up doing. My friend sent it to another guy who I don't even think sent it to him. Just they had it now. Easy, easy solution. But his first solution was to put me out. Very not mean. He's like, just bring in the paper. I'll give you 3 days. And this is the kind of stuff. That's why there's a big joke when you go in the bank. I've been repeating this forever, and I think a lot of other people do. You go to you go to 4 different tellers, you get 4 different answers. When that teller says, "I need these 3 pieces of paper," you're like, "All right, I have 2. I'll go get it." You come back, you have the 3. You go to the other teller, and they go, "Wait, who told you 3? There's another paper, and that one needs to be, you know, note. What is it? Notified? Not notified. Notary." And then you're like, "Wait, what? They just told me." "No, all right." You leave again, you bring back the 4 pieces of paper, you go to a teller, and they'll go, "Why do you have this paper? You don't need it." I mean, it's just a joke. That's just what happens here. But so this worked out for me, and I finally got it, and it just over a simple email thing, and his banking email uh, username wasn't working. Now, what's that? What's up with that? I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that he couldn't come up with problem solving except for to tell me to go bring back the real, the actual paper. So, and that's, and I've lived here a long time, so I know what's going on. But the people this video is for people that are kind of new to the game. Even if your Spanish is pretty decent, man, the hoops you jump through, and useless hoops a lot of times, useless hoops. So, I would love for you guys that live here that have your banking experiences, maybe kind of comment, because I know you know what I'm talking about, especially with business accounts, please comment so I don't look like I'm making something out of nothing, because this thing that I just told you took an hour and a half. So I was just sitting there, chill. I'm just like, well, I don't think this is my problem. I think we can work this out, and it's not me getting the paper. So, I was, let's say, not even assertive. I just said, "Sounds like you have a problem." He actually laughed at that because I don't know what it was. Now, I don't want to say ageism because that's so woke and I hate that shit. But I, I think he's like, "This gringo doesn't really know what's up. I'll just tell him to get the paper." You know what I mean? I think he kind of tried to play me a little bit. Maybe even unconsciously. I just tell this old gringo dude to go do this thing. He doesn't know. He doesn't know tech stuff, really. I'm surprised he got was able to send the document. So I don't know. I don't know what their reasoning is for stuff, but man, it's funny. It's funny. So man, tell me your stories. Tell me your experiences. I'd love to hear them, and it helps other people. Anyway, guys, enjoy. I'm going to finish this cup of coffee while I'm sweating balls here, and I'm drinking coffee. So that makes a lot of sense too. Guys, I'm Michael Allen, travelcostarica.com. Peace, guys. Hope it doesn't really help. That was just a little story. But things are going to pop up. Thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, I don't know, man. I'm going to put our videos up with anybody's. Ciao.